In this video, we present our National Science Foundation CIVIC Innovation project, bridging the gap between essential emergency resources and services and the deaf and hard of hearing community in Monroe County, New York, a geospatial-visual approach. Emergencies continue to grow in terms of frequency, intensity, and scope. The deaf and hard of hearing are a particularly vulnerable group during emergencies due to specific gaps in essential emergency resources and services for the deaf and hard of hearing. This is a particularly relevant issue as 1 in 8 people in the United States have hearing loss. During our Phase 1 research, we learned about gaps in emergency services for the deaf and hard of hearing directly, as demonstrated in these quotes from focus group discussions with the Monroe County deaf and hard of hearing community. Last summer, there was a power outage and I felt helpless. I couldn't use 911. There was a blackout and it was completely dark. I fell and broke my hip because I couldn't see, and I was crawling to get to my phone to call 911. It was so tough, and the maintenance from the apartment saw the police and fire, and we had no way to communicate, and I was on the ground and we were writing back and forth. Hello, my name is Brian Tomaszewski. I'm a professor at the Rochester Institute of Technology and principal investigator of this National Science Foundation CIVIC Innovation project. In our project, we have been researching how to identify and bridge specific gaps in essential emergency resources and services for the deaf and hard of hearing community in Monroe County, New York. Situated within Monroe County, Rochester, New York is home to the largest per capita population of deaf and hard of hearing people in the United States.
Hello, my name is Jim Fugate, and I'm an assistant professor at the National Technical Institute for the Deaf here at RIT. I'm the co-PI, or principal investigator, for this NSF CIVIC Innovation project. Our project involves working with 3 partners: the Rochester Institute of Technology, RIT, and the National Technical Institute for the Deaf, NTID, and the Monroe County Office of Emergency Management, and then the Rochester Rec Club for the Deaf. Our CIVIC Innovation project represents a unique coupling of academic research with the deaf and hard of hearing community and emergency management. This project is taking place in one of the most unique locations in the U.S. to research the relationship between the deaf and hard of hearing communities and the emergency services.
Our CIVIC Innovation project is investigating 3 specific goals: identifying deaf and hard of hearing community emergency service gaps, creating and evaluating deaf and hard of hearing emergency communication tools, such as community hazard mapping tools for use by the deaf and hard of hearing community, emergency simulations to inform use of signage when auditory messages are not an option, and designing and evaluating emergency communication devices, such as visual artifacts designed for communication between hearing emergency management professionals and deaf and hard of hearing community members during emergencies.
In addition, we are developing educational pathways for a deeper level of understanding related to the deaf and hard of hearing community and the emergency management and the geographical information systems, or GIS technology practice, and identifying ways for the deaf and hard of hearing themselves to participate in the emergency management STEM workforce and volunteer efforts. Our project will directly address issues related to incorporating the special needs populations into the emergency management practice. Results will be applicable to other community areas with special needs populations, such as the blind and the deaf and blind people in other communities in our state and our nation.
We believe this project will have a positive national impact and legacy. For more information about our National Science Foundation CIVIC Innovation project that is investigating ways to bridge the gaps in emergency services for the deaf and hard of hearing, visit us at our project website.